In 1943, a 17-year-old farm boy was given $5 by his father as a reward for doing well in school, despite his severe dyslexia. With that money, he started selling matches to his neighbors. Today, that decision turned into a $60 billion empire that has invaded 63 countries and convinced billions of people to spend their Saturdays building their own furniture with an Allen wrench and instructions that look like ancient hieroglyphics. But here's the twist. IKEA's entire business model was born from pure spite. And that story is absolutely wild. Let me take you back to 1950 Sweden. Ingvar Kamprad, our farm boy turned entrepreneur, had been running his small mail order business for years, selling pens, wallets, picture frames, basically whatever he could get his hands on. Then he started selling furniture, and business was good. Too good, actually. The local furniture retailers noticed, and they did not like this young upstart undercutting their prices. So they did what any monopoly would do. They went to the suppliers and threatened them, if you keep selling to Kamprad, we'll stop buying from you. One by one, Kamprad's suppliers abandoned him. He was blacklisted, shut out. The furniture establishment wanted him gone. Most people would have quit. But Kamprad? He got angry. And when Kamprad got angry, he got creative. If Swedish suppliers wouldn't work with him, fine. He'd go to Poland. He'd design his own furniture. He'd build his own supply chain. And most importantly, he'd make furniture so cheap and so accessible that those old guard retailers would become obsolete. Revenge, served flat-packed. But here's where IKEA's signature move was born, and it happened completely by accident. It's 1956. One of Kamprad's employees, Gillis Lundgren, is trying to fit a table into his car to photograph it. It won't fit. He's frustrated, running out of time, and then he has a thought, what if we just take the legs off? That moment changed retail history. Suddenly, Kamprad realized something brilliant. If you ship furniture in flat boxes, you slash transportation costs. You reduce warehouse space. You can pack more products in a truck. You can charge less. And here's the kicker. You make the customer do the assembly work. It was genius. Controversial, sure, but genius. Think about it. IKEA convinced the entire world that it's actually fun to spend 3 hours on your living room floor, losing screws, misreading instructions, and questioning your life choices. And we love them for it. But the flat pack alone wasn't enough. Kamprad had another problem. People wanted to see and touch furniture before buying it. So in 1953, he opened his first showroom in Untold, Sweden. Except it wasn't just a showroom. It was an experience. Kamprad created fully furnished room displays. Not just a couch against a wall, but an entire living room where you could sit, relax, and imagine yourself living there. You could open the drawers, test the chairs, sprawl on the beds. This was revolutionary. Furniture stores before this were basically warehouses where a salesman followed you around with a clipboard. Then came another problem. People were spending so much time in the store that they were getting hungry and leaving before buying anything. So what did Kamprad do? He added a restaurant. The famous IKEA cafeteria was born out of pure practicality. Keep people fed, keep them shopping. Those Swedish meatballs? That's not Swedish hospitality. That's strategic customer retention. And the numbers prove it works. Today, IKEA is one of the largest restaurant chains in the world, serving over 650 million customers annually. Let that sink in. But there's something deeper going on here, something psychological that made IKEA unstoppable. First, there's the IKEA effect. Researchers actually named a cognitive bias after this company. Studies show that people value things more when they've built them themselves. That bookshelf you assembled at 2 a.m. while questioning the meaning of part 4 billions, you love it more than any pre-assembled bookshelf you could have bought. Your effort created emotional attachment. Second, the maze. Yes, IKEA stores are deliberately designed as a one-way path that forces you through every department. You came for a lamp, but somehow you're leaving with candles, a rug, a plant you don't need, and 50 tea lights. It's not an accident. It's brilliant store design. Third, the prices. IKEA doesn't just make things affordable. They make them shockingly affordable. A nightstand for $20, a full dining table for under $100. It triggers our bargain hunting instincts. We buy things we didn't even need because they're such a good deal. And finally, the names. Kamprad was dyslexic and had trouble remembering product codes, so he created a naming system. Bookcases are named after professions, beds after Norwegian place names, textiles after Scandinavian words. It made the products memorable, distinct, and somehow more charming. Now, IKEA's story isn't perfect. Kamprad himself was a complicated figure. He had ties to fascist groups in his youth, which he later expressed regret for. The company has faced criticism for tax avoidance strategies, labor practices, and environmental concerns with its disposable furniture culture. But here's what's undeniable. Kamprad took an idea born from being blacklisted and turned it into a global phenomenon that democratized furniture. Before IKEA, furniture was expensive, exclusive, aspirational. IKEA made good design accessible to everyone. They currently operate over 460 stores worldwide. They welcome more than 800 million visitors each year. Their catalog, at its peak, was printed in larger quantities than the Bible. And it all started because a teenager with dyslexia refused to quit when the establishment tried to crush him. So the next time you're on your hands and knees, assembling a hemless dresser at midnight, surrounded by mysterious extra screws, just remember, you're not just building furniture, you're participating in one of the greatest revenge stories in business history. And honestly, that makes those cryptic instructions a little more meaningful. If you enjoyed this story, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the wild origins of the brands we know and love. See you in the next one.